This is a channeling that came through today, December 19th into December 20th. The energies are building, getting stronger. The veil is basically non-existent. The energies are so powerful, it's hard to sleep even. But overall, many of us are feeling it. That great change, that we are all standing on the precipice of a major shift, bigger than anyone before. And while, yes, this has been predicted for a long time in many ways, or shows up differently than we expect, and it's always, a sort of experience that's like, oh, well, nothing happened, or it showed up differently. And in this case, that may very well still be very true. There really is also a difference to this, for this feels different. The earth is speaking. She is showing so many of us the buildup of the energy. And not only her, it's not only coming from her, but from those coming in and out of the veil. Those from all the different realms, from the stars, from different dimensions, those who exist amongst us in many different ways. The animals, the plants, the rocks, the elements, the wind, the fire, the air, the plasma, the earth, the ocean, I had been feeling for some time, as I had mentioned in one of my previous channelings of 3 Atlas, that I felt a oceanic consciousness, as if it had awakened. And then a couple days later, there was a woman who spoke of connecting to Atlas, 3 Atlas, and saying that it was what she got was an oceanic consciousness, a whale-like consciousness, very intelligent, very old, very ancient. And I was like, whoa, that's incredible, because I felt that same energy she was describing. Yet for me, it did not feel like it was specifically coming from the comet. I kept feeling that it was actually in the ocean, but it was, I'm now seeing being affected. That energy I was feeling was being affected by the technology that is on this comet. For I believe that the comet has technology in it, or on it. But I do not believe it to be a ship. That's not what I'm getting from it. That's not what I've been receiving. But there is a technology, a vibration. The way that even how the gamma ray burst happened right before it was discovered, basically jumping into our system to pass through, to bring this technology, the bugosphere that awakened or came ahead of it a couple months before. All of this I spoke of in a previous channeling of the comet. But through it all, there's this deep, oceanic, ancient awakening occurring deep within the earth. That has been going on, especially in the last couple of years, and intensifying every year. Oh, and especially this year. And last year too. And 2023. Just the last few years. And I am beginning to see the orchestration, the choreographed coherence, consciousness, and intelligence at play that is all building up to this shift to the Kali Yuga that we are literally experiencing. We are in the chaos part of it, the big chaotic node, as the Hathors like to say, from Tom Kenyon, through Tom Kenyon, who has inspired me in so many ways. But also, what has further brought on the channeling that I am about to share was seeing all of the parts coming into play, all of these parts coming into play, and it all seeming to center around the ocean. Something coming from the ocean, something awakening from the ocean. And I remember before I took an extended break from the online space, from Facebook in particular, my friend Gita Rose, which if you're listening to this, Gita, thank you. Aloha and thank you. She had invited me to be a part of a gathering of aloha and the message of, I don't remember the exact message because it's been several months, the exact title, but I know that it's centered around Jesus, Yeshua, and the energies of the Marys. Jesus, Yeshua being a very, very strong presence. And I don't think that it was necessarily titled Yeshua as if there was going to be, that he was going to be spoken of in this channeling of Bella. Oh, it was such a phenomenal experience. But the night before the meeting, before the channeling, I had a very short but very vivid dream. And that was, because that's right, her channeling was of Mu, Lemuria. And Yeshua, Jesus, was a very big energy and theme within this space. But it was not in the title, I believe. I'll have to go back and double check. Don't quote me on that, but I'm quite sure that I wasn't aware we would be, I wasn't 100% aware that we would be speaking of him. So the night before, I had a very vivid but very short dream of seeing Jesus's body. This is how I know that energy. I know him as Jesus. And so that is how I will refer to him, because that is the energy that resonates with me. But I saw him, his body underneath clear blue water, like turquoise clear water, buried under rocks, light brown rocks. And all you could see was his feet sticking out. And yet I knew that he wasn't dead. And I felt that he was about to rise. He was about to awaken, reawaken, laying in the shallow part of the ocean, in the clear blue turquoise water, under this burial of rocks with only his feet sticking out. And I woke up from that. So the next day, during the discussion with Bella and Gita, he came up and I realized this is why I dreamt of him. I was meant to share. He came to me, brought this energy to me for this experience. And now I am seeing the even bigger picture of it, because his energy of knowing that he was not dead, that he was about to awaken, even though all you could see was his feet, while the rest of his body was covered and he was under a clear water. It was that energy that I'm feeling now of something deep within the ocean is about to awaken, that is going to bring a massive change very soon, a golden age, which we all know that this change is coming. But this dream was as if it was a visualization of that energy. And I now see that it is also the visualization of the energy that I'm feeling now, that it is about to come out from underneath the rocks. And bring this change that is being so felt by so many. It's so powerful. It has been affecting my body in very physical ways. I have been having to rest so much. And I have also had friends, like yesterday during the closest approach of the comet, which I thought it would be in the middle of the day of December 19th. I did not know it was going to be exactly at midnight. Right before I felt called to do an entire spa-like experience of cleansing myself, my energy, pampering myself, something I haven't done in a very long time. As if I was reshaping, reforming, and preparing myself as the new person that I am today. And as I was doing that, I was going into a trance, because I was in the shower for 2 hours, maybe 2.5. I went into this trance. I was shown very vivid symbols. I was being given messages. I was clearing my energy, drawing the symbols that were being shown, and then I felt a presence of a being that showed itself very clearly, and it was so strong that I had to open my eyes a couple of times just to make sure nobody had walked in to the bathroom. A blue being in a white robe like dress, hooded, adorned in blue crystals. It was the one giving me the symbols. And at the same time, I had a very, very dear friend channeling in a deep trance a lot of the exact same messages I was receiving as well. Connected across the world, or across the states, wherever they may be at this time, because I know they have been traveling. But it was incredible because I was not aware that they were doing this. At the same time, I was not aware that the comet was getting closer to its approach at midnight. And I did not even get back home from my shower until midnight. And even my children felt the energy as well. For one of them began talking as if the stars themselves were talking to them as human beings, as a person talking to them, speaking very accurate truths about the stars that I have not taught him about yet. It was incredible. And we were all noticing the beings around us, seeing them very clearly. The stars literally speaking to us. So I was up for a long time after that. Finally got a chance to eat. Not until about 3 a.m. And that is when I looked at my phone and saw I had received the email from my friend to see that he had sent his experience at the time that I was in the shower having my experience. It was just incredible. And so that's when I was like, let me see when the closest approach of Atlas is. Something about the 3 feels strange. But I was like, let me see what the closest approach of Atlas is. What time it will be. And sure enough, it said that its closest approach happened at midnight on December 19th. And I was like, oh my goodness, I arrived home at 12:02. Right when the stars were speaking to me and my children, and we were seeing the beings coming in and out and moving around outside. It was incredible. The synchronicity, beautiful. And so I finally get to bed around 5 after I channeled from that experience and that connection. Something that I will share more on later in a different recording. But I only ended up sleeping about 2 hours. And I'm in desperate need of rest. But the energy is so intense. It's just almost impossible to quiet the energy. And that change has been building, that energy, the shift, the awakening of the deep, deep, deep energy and then seeing all of it coming together and coalescing, all of it falling into place, all of it making sense, all of these last few years. And so this is what came through. What brought this through fully was, as I was actually falling asleep, I saw Stephen Burns put out a video, which I will link in the description, about the blip that was shown right when, like a couple hours before Atlas made his closest approach. And that this blip they have been finding, when it shows up in the Schumann resonance, along with other factors, often precedes a massive earthquake. And I had also spoke of this too, feeling that one is about to happen. Something awakening deep within the ocean. My daughter as well yesterday had a dream of a tsunami. Another really dear friend, really beautiful friend of mine that I spoke of today, also spoke of the tsunami before they knew of my daughter dreaming of it. My daughter's had multiple dreams of a tsunami, flood. And so, which I know can mean multiple things. I definitely keep an open mind, because I know there are many probabilities and possibilities within the field in which we exist. And that anything is possible. But I saw that, and then he brought up that one of the points of data that made them realize that a blip will appear, a specific kind of blip will appear on the Schumann resonance right before a major earthquake. One of the earthquakes that happened that helped them be able to see the pattern was one that I had predicted a year before it happened. The one in Marrakesh. I predicted it a year before it happened. So I'm going to go into the channel that I wrote. And then I'm going to have a deep sleep. After this reading of the awakening of the energy and the ocean. I'm going to read what I wrote, and I know I'm already in the liminal space, the channeling space, the connected space. And I'm sure there will be more that potentially can come through as well, but here we go. I am feeling it so strongly, the awakening of the energy in the ocean. I've been feeling a stirring in the ocean for months now. Something felt as if it had opened within the ocean, right off of the coast, with the major earthquake that happened off of the coast of Northern California. A magnitude 7 at 10:44 a.m. local time on December 5th, 2024, 5 months after I had left Mount Shasta. I remember feeling this deep connection to the energetic signature of Shasta itself days before this happened. The day of this earthquake, I experienced a massive release of energy and a feeling like a new opening had occurred. I originally thought it was solely something to do within myself, but then found out just moments later that this earthquake had occurred during my experience of release, of opening. It was then that I had a vision of a boulder-like rock having been moved to reveal an entrance/exit to an underground cave system that was connected to Shasta and the other volcanoes connected to California's Cascade Volcanic Arc, which most of us know contains an underground city or civilization, or as it so is told. There was a feeling of it being intentional, the beginning of something bigger, this earthquake. It was done on purpose. During my time with Mount Shasta, I received multiple messages that an earthquake would be happening soon. I felt so strong. I would feel it vibrating, that message within me, within my root, especially in my root, very strongly, but also within my chest. So when this earthquake on December 5th of 2024 occurred, I knew it to be the one that was being continuously shown to me during my time with the volcano and the land. For I had spent a lot of time there alone, which was exactly as it needed to be, because it helped me connect deeper to all that is happening now, to the land, to the earth. Brought me a sort of, the best word I can think of is mastery of the understanding of how the earth speaks in its many ways that it does. Of course, that was only one of many experiences of learning the way the earth speaks, but that was a very big one. I had also accurately predicted that a massive earthquake was going to happen in Marrakesh, Morocco, a year before it happened. The earthquake was on 9/8/2023. It might have been a little less than a year, actually. Because it was the first time I spoke to whom I considered my actual twin. We had spoken of it, and we had either spoken at the end of 2022 or the very beginning of 2023. So a little, less than a year. But this earthquake on 9/8/2023 in Marrakesh, Morocco, was a 6.8 magnitude. And it happened just after 11 p.m. local time, 11 miles deep, with the epicenter itself being 44 miles from the southwest of Marrakesh itself. 11/11/44. 11 p.m., 11 miles, 44 miles. This event was revealed to me, the original channeling of the prophecy of the prediction that came forward. It was revealed to me through a channeling I did with Thoth during a meeting / co-channeling experience I had with that very dear friend of mine for our first face-to-face Zoom conversation. I was shown that this earthquake was going to open something within the ground, possibly connected to Egypt and the pyramids themselves. I felt strongly that it was going to be an Egyptian find, and that this finding was one that would change our current understanding of the history of humanity and or the progression of civilization as we had been told. I had never predicted such a massive scale event like this before. None that I could remember anyway. It was actually quite devastating for me when this experience happened, when this earthquake happened, because of the lives lost and the damage done. It was a very emotional experience to have predicted something that affected so many in such in just a devastating way. I do not know, though, if the rest of the Marrakesh prediction that I made had come to pass, of the finding that would come up from the earth, because the earth was shown to me to open up, and that there was going to be that discovery found that would change our understanding of our history, of where we came from, of how civilization came to be, and that it was connected to the pyramids and to Egypt. So I did not know if the rest of this prediction has come to pass. But I'm sure that if anything of that kind of significance was in fact found, it would more than likely be hidden for a time first, before coming to the light for the public to be made aware of, if at all. But I got a feeling with the changes that are happening, we're going to be made aware. We're going to be made aware. I feel it. With these experiences of just these two messages, predictions, showings of the earthquakes that happened, with the experiences of feeling the flow of energy, the speaking of the earth, showing me she will soon be opening, releasing, revealing secrets, moving structures, shifting lands, changing form, I have come to notice and take note of the subtleties of this specific energy. The feeling of the current and the crackle of electricity, of the plasma pulsating amongst the ethers, along the restructured ley lines, song lines, dream lines of the earth. And this feeling has begun to take on a familiarity. The knowing of the feeling of something right on the precipice of a great change, right before it all shifts, right before the earth opens up, right before the earthquake happens. The feeling of the doorways being open, often revealing two pathways that sit at the crossroads of the in-between. Foggy, cool on the skin, beautifully mysterious, this space of the in-between. With fae, faun, and flora flitting in and out of the mist along the shore of the unseen, yet known, waters that remain hidden amongst the thickest areas of the fog. A portal containing many of the hidden, multi-dimensional gateways at which the foxes, the corvids, and all manner of guardians and keepers of these doorways wait. Keep watching. The ones that keep watching, waiting to guide those brave enough to walk the hidden pathways, those armed with only the courage of the knowledge and wisdom of their heart to guide them. In this place where you know change is here, yet the details are not fully formed or yet clear. This is the place of alchemy, where all we can do from here is continue to move forward, following the pull of our heart's silver cords. We can rely on faith and the practice of full surrender into letting go of fear. Something powerful stirs within the earth. In the ocean. Within the sandy shores of the deepest parts of the marina's floor. It is awake and will soon begin moving. The coherence of the great cosmic consciousness orchestrating the incredible symphony that has long been being written and choreographed for the big debut, showing the why of why we are here, the roles of who we truly are, to which we will soon adhere. Freely, sovereignly, but why we are here. The roles of the ambassadors to help those who may get lost in the chaos, to assist those focused on fear, not quite sure of the new energies coming in faster and faster as they begin to appear. We were forged in fire, shaped by water, guided by air, grounded by earth, and given hearts of pure spirit. So we would always find our way back home, positioned to face and overcome our fears, all while learning to soften and not be hardened as we embrace the beauty of our emotions and our tears. For we are being trained, for we were being trained for many lifetimes, over thousands of years, to be the safe bridges for a species that was taught to see anything it didn't know or understand with fear. We, pillars of strength for an entire planet, facing one of its biggest frequential shifts as the human race will fully awaken to the incredible nature of their long suppressed gifts. Kali Yuga is upon us. The ambassadors are here. We are here to help. We are here to help. We are here to help. We are shedding very old skins of long-held beliefs embedded in the blood of all of the generations of all of the ancestors of Earth. Clearing traumas from the past and for the future. Reclaiming our soul's truth. Awakening the remembrance within the DNA of the human race. The truth of the nature of all who walk this planet named Mama Earth. And as the ancient sayings say, there will always be great chaos that precedes great change. It's incredible to see that all I've been feeling recently, the intuitions, the dreams, the visions and messages I've had, are beginning to sync up in a way that is showing up on scientific devices. The buildup I've been feeling is being measured, and even the scientific communities can see that something is awakening and moving within the earth and around the earth with a consciousness, a coherence, an intelligence. And I am not the only one feeling this buildup. So many of us who have come here to help are feeling this. And here we all are, solar bodies, planets, stars, and all that is moving into position for the long-awaited divine plan the very one that has been underway for thousands of years, leading up to this very day. Do not be afraid, dear ones. As always, remember to stay in the heart. Stay in love. Stay in your heart. Because not only will any uncertain and chaotic change that may come be quick, but it could play out in ways that we never expected, and will only further add extra fun and flair to this play upon Earth's stage. Do you feel it? Something deep within the ocean awakens. Thank you for listening and being a part of this energy. Now let us go drink lots of water, ground, sit, integrate, feel, and let me know what you've been seeing, feeling, hearing, experiencing. If you too feel that we are in the chaos period of the Kali Yuga, but it is about to shift. We are at the precipice. Do you feel it too? Do you feel it too? Do you feel it too? I love you. I love you. I love you.